Hello, Jim. How are you? Hope all's well. And getting right onto your lesson here. I hope you had a really great vacation. I know you were going to be away for a few days, and you were kind of concerned that you were going to miss some practice time. And it sounds like you really figured it out with this the visualization thing I was talking about, and you took I'm glad it helped you. Always remember that your mind, when your mind is actually seeing you playing the key, actually following it down into the key bed, your mind doesn't really see the difference. You know, you can memorize tunes this way. These exercises obviously have worked for you. So, and again, you don't have to be on vacation to visualize too. You can be doing it on a plane. You can be doing it in a break in your day. It's just, it's a great way to kind of practice when there's no piano around. Okay, so I'm glad you used that as one of your little testing grounds there on your recent vacation, and I'm so glad you had a nice time. Things are great here. I've been very, very busy, and you know, some playing, a lot of teaching, so things are going good. And I'm so glad your videos came through so nice. And I know you're really on a mission to get that perfect camera angle, you know. But again, it wasn't necessary. You surely exceeded my expectations on your video presentation. So it sounds great, you know. And you're playing, your piano sounds good, and the dog in the background sounds particularly cool. You know, it's funny, the microphone picks up the dog nearby, so as you can tell, the dog's right near your feet. And but you're sounding really good. Particularly on this particular lesson, I want to talk about something that's the most exciting thing you've done, is you're really starting to see a spontaneous thing in your playing. So what I'm starting to see here, when you're playing, you're coming up with like ideas. All that right there, I couldn't repeat it. You know, it's coming off my hand. This is what I'm teaching you to do. So what we're doing is we're almost like massaging the piano. You're playing notes and you're filtering and you're adding intertonal movements and colors and using availabilities. It's wonderful. It really is great. And particularly nice when you're playing a tune, you're sitting back on the melody a lot now, which is really nice. And this is what I was trying to tell you for a while there. And you know, I knew it's such a subtle change, and sometimes it sounds so deliberate, but when you get it, it sounds so natural. For example. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of trying to remember some of your lines you were playing. You were really sitting behind it, so you play even just simple da do do be day. Then you come into the. What this is doing is it's separating the hand, so your hand sounds very much like a it's like riding over, like a singer over the structure of the tune. Very, very cool. Best thing you did on the lesson, because it really is, it's coming through and you're playing like crazy. Really, really, really good. Very relaxed. Doesn't sound so up and down, okay? And that's a hard thing to get to, okay? So I'm very proud of you to have got to that point. So spontaneous, let's see. The piano sounds really good, man. The piano. You can tell it's nice in tune, and it's a new piano. It really sounds beautiful. The scales, 2 against 1. Classical fingering, we're going to give you more of the difficult option. Remember I was telling you, when you're doing these 7 fingerings, doing the 1, 2s, the 4, 5s, and all of our these varied fingerings, again, this is a very valuable scale skill. I'm going to repeat it time and time again. Taught by the great Lenny Tristano out of New York City. I was very, very blessed and privileged to be able to study with him, with one of his last students, and get a lot of his content. So from those voicings we're working on, you know, all these major 7 voicings that you're working on. I mean, all the voicings we're going to be working on, all the different colors and textures. That's a really big deal, and no one knows about it. It's a very rare information, you know, that it's kind of cool. I was very cool to be studying. It was back in my early days when I was studying. And same with the scales here. These polyrhythm scales. Scales, when they go contrary motion, add a lot of interest in your playing anyway. So it's always that motion going away. And then your fingering. So when your hand locks in, locks out, you're able to continue. Which is really cool, and that's what's starting to happen now in your fingering. So what's really nice about it is the classical fingering will become the more difficult one, but it's still going to give you the facility to be able to get around the piano the way you're going to need to get around. But it's these 4/5s and 1/2s and all these other fingerings we're going to be working, that we've been working on and we're going deeper into now, is going to get you, when you're playing an idea here, you don't know whether you're playing, I'm going to be playing stuff that's naturally comfortable, it will fit under my hand, but I'm going to have some level of finesse, whereas if I only did the traditional scales, then my hand might tend to get a little bit more hand-locked. So if you come up with an idea, how you're going to continue an idea if you're already on the 5th finger and you want to continue to line up. So there's ways we have the facility to do it now. It's really cool, okay? So now we're doing 3 against 1. You have to see 4 notes at the end of the piano, so watch this very carefully, okay? Because you're going to be going up the piano and just doing 1/2s and 4/5s, 1/2s up to the end of the piano and back, 4/5s one direction, okay? So basically, it'll be like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, hit, back, see? You do the same thing with the left hand, and 1, 2, 3, you're going to be able to see 4 notes at the end of the piano. So this is really going to take it nice and slow. I'm just doing it fast for a demonstration here. And do the same thing with the 4/5s. All keys, be comfortable with this. This is so, so valuable and so important, okay? It gives you a lot of chops. It's getting you working on that counterpoint, which makes your playing very, very interesting. And it's giving you the discipline, too, when you get into bass lines and all kinds of other playing that you're able to ride, So anything I'm playing, I could be playing. So I can kind of float over it, so the hands become very, very independent when they work together. It's going to start working into your higher level of playing when you'll start seeing how these scales are going to really, really be a real backbone in your playing. It's really cool, okay? So Autumn Leaves with the chromatic approaches was great. Make sure you always, I usually like to have the chromatic approaches really appearing, kind of equal and not always on 4 going into the, like this. So like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See that? 2. See that? So what I'm doing here is instead of having it be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Don't worry about, if you now and then it hit it on the 4, but it's much better. Think about it, it's just very equally placed. It's all those chromatics. And you can remember, just keep that in mind, that you always want to keep it very symmetrical when you're playing, because you want to, almost like you're walking. And don't have it go 1, 2, 3, then it puts a disruption in it, okay? it was fine for the most part. You kept it on 1 and 3, but there was a few there you hit it on the 4, and it kind of just threw me like, what are you doing? It's like, you know, if you're listening, you want, you know, you're sitting over there, like when I used to play at the Ritz all the time, you know, people eating the dinner, and I started putting that kind of disruption, and you want to constantly be feeling that very much sense of time. Very relaxed, okay? Okay, now going on to the fourths, uppers, root with the third. This is 2-5-1-6 voice leading. This is a very cool thing, and I think you're really understanding it now. And all I can say right now, if you're playing here, C minor to F7, then you go into F7 here, to B flat, to G. Now what you're going to do, C minor, go up to here, to F7, you know, to B flat. Then to G, up to here. You get it? It's really cool. Okay, now we're looking at the major seventh with those seventh voicings built in the seventh. These are great. 7-1-3, 7-1-2-3, 7-1-3-5, 7-1-3-5-6, 7-1-3-5-7, 7-3-6-9. What's cool about this is you really want to get comfortable being able to see each individual one, you know, see these all over the piano, so you can see these things no matter what key you're in. For example, 7-1-3, 7-1-2-3, 7-1-2-3. See these, so you can see them, all right? You know, it's nice, okay? And it's one thing to be able to see each individual one, you know, but you really, then it gets you to see it, you know, differently than always playing it in the context of playing these voicings where you're hearing all the color changes. You know, you still work on the group as a one and a whole, but you want to take each individual one too and be isolating it too, okay? That'll help you a lot. Okay, so then 2-5-1-6, melodic textures with the 9-1. Really, really nice. I think you could probably do some framework there. So you're basically getting the frame. So you take the frame and you know, again, we have, let me get a couple of pieces of paper right here. Here we got the frame. And all you're going to do here is you're basically going to be attacking this frame here, 2-5-1, you know. So here, then you can put texture. Then here, texture. B flat major. And then to G7, okay, see that? You see that? Okay, again, maybe up here. F7, B flat, to G7. What you do, then you move the frame around. So what you're doing, by sticking a frame, you know, you're really trying to, you're coming up with a 9-1, and then you're putting the frame to it. You know, you've got the frame, so you have to work all those notes in with the textures within the frame. Makes it really cool to see. So now we're going on to giant steps. And what we're going to do is we're taking that giant step solo and your 9-1 solo that we kind of just did right there, and you're going to attach harmony to it by putting texture release, texture release. This is a really great skill, okay? One of my favorite things to put out there. So really work on that. Watch that video really carefully. It's going to help you a lot, Jim. Okay, next lesson coming up. Next due date is going to be February 15th. I want you to do the very best you can. I know you got a lot going on in your life. You're a very busy guy, and you're a very dedicated student for sure. You know, I want you to continue transcribing. I think that's having a big play into how you're feeling the lines and everything. And listen a lot. I think your listening's a lot too. Remember, when you're transcribing, you have to internalize those lines so you're really feeling the pulse and the nuances in their playing. So it really helps you a lot. Okay, so huge lesson coming your way. Next due date, February 15th. Until then, keep up the good work. It's always a pleasure. I can't wait to catch up with you next time around, see how you do with all the new information. Okay, take care, Jim. Have a great lesson. Okay, see you. Bye.